Welcome to Temperaments with me, Elizabeth Nielsen. So, first thing we're going to talk about as we talk about temperaments are the 9 different temperament traits. Now, as we go through these, I want you to think about yourself and where you would identify yourself. The first is activity level, which is the amount of physical movement in a day. You have kids who have high activity level, who, are the kids who won't sit still, are constantly tapping their pencil or playing with something. These are the kids who bounce their knee and, are just constantly on the move. Then you've got the low activity kids. These kids, their low activity is sometimes portrayed as low intellectual activity, which isn't correct at all. So personally, I fall kind of right in the middle. I'm not super active, but I'm not low activity either. The next is biological rhythm, which is the regularity of your eating, sleeping, and elimination. So you have regular people who, sleep at the same time every day, they eat at the same time every day, they, go to the bathroom at the same time. They're just very regular. You can almost set their watch by their schedule. And then you've got irregular people who, wake up at different times every day, they go to bed at different times, they eat at different times, and they go to the bathroom at different times. These people, their rooms are often really messy, and they lose things, and they don't set routines. I'm a very regular person. I love my routine. Next, we have approach and withdrawal. Kids who approach, they do just exactly that. They aren't shy at all. They love to, see new things and new people, and they're not shy at all. These are the kids who will let you hold them. They're not clinging to mom or dad all the time. They're just very open and not shy. Whereas the kids who withdraw are, hesitant, scared, and shy. They like to sit back. They're the people watchers most of the time. Next, we have mood, which is the amount of time in a positive, happy mood versus the amount of time in a negative or sad, fussy mood. This one is pretty self-explanatory. Next, we have the intensity of reaction. You have the intense children, and they are loud and dramatic. Their highs are higher than normal, and their lows are lower than normal. These are the kids that you never have to guess how they're feeling. And then you've got the mild reaction kids. They're the kids who, instead of throwing a loud tantrum, will just kind of, sit and fuss quietly. Parents typically tend to have a hard time telling how these kids are feeling. Personally, I'm a very intense reaction person. You will always know how I'm feeling. Next is sensitivity. You have people with high sensitivity, and they're kind of like people with their antennas turned on, but instead of pulling in just one radio station, they're pulling in all the stations at once. And this can get really overwhelming, especially in, crazy and chaotic, busy places. Then you've got the low sensitivity kids. These are the kids who don't mind the tag on the back of their shirt or if there's sand in their shoe. I'm a very sensitive person. The tags on the inside of my shirt, they bother me all the time. I get overwhelmed really easily just by the chaos of, going to the mall when there's, a lot of stuff going on. I get overwhelmed by that kind of stuff really easily. Adaptability is the, ability to manage change. People who adapt quickly, they don't mind the change, they're just, go with the flow kind of people, where, on the opposite side, you've got slow adapting people. They're the people who, we have to know what's going on. We have to plan ahead. I have to, look at my schedule for the day, and, they're the check it off the box type of people. That's me. I'm a scheduler. Um, I like to be in control and know what's going on and when it's going on, and I like to expect and know what I'm expecting. Next is distractibility, which is we've got the distractible kids. They just can't stay focused because they just get overstimulated and they get distracted by the littlest things very easily. They have a really hard time focusing. On the other side, you've got the kids who just have an endless amount of focus. I am a very distractible person. I can't stay focused on the same task for more than 20 minutes. I need a lot of brain breaks during class, and I just get distracted really, really easily, especially in just daily conversations. I'll lose my train of thought a lot. Lastly, we have persistence, which is, just how long a child will stick with a difficult task before giving up. You've got the persistent kids who, they have, a lot of focus and a lot of determination. They stick with it no matter what. And then you've got the impersistent kids who, they just have a hard time when things get difficult. It turns them away a little bit. They get sad when they can't do things. So I'm a very persistent person. I'm going to stick with it. I've got to finish it. Once I start something, I'm going to finish it, and I do not care how long it takes. Then, now that we've talked about the 9 different temperament traits, we use how we identified with each of the different traits to pick our temperament. And there are 3 different temperament styles. The first is easy, and these people, they eat and sleep and eliminate on a very regular schedule. Most of the time they're in a happy, positive mood. They are very adaptable. They don't care. They're very flexible. They have moderate intensity levels. And they're not super sensitive to sensory information. Then you've got difficult. These are the very active people. Their emotional responses are very intense. They're super distractible. They're also very sensitive and irregular in their eating and sleeping patterns. Lastly, we have the slow to warm up group, which these are the shy people who just tend to withdraw from new places and new situations. Now, it's okay if you, kind of fall into, all 3 categories a little bit. It's not a one size fits all. I am a mix between, easy and difficult. So, those are the temperaments. And I hope that you learned a little bit something new today. And I hope that you can use what you learned to help be a better caregiver for your different children, because each child is different and unique. And I hope you can use this to better understand your different child's differences and unique characteristics. Thanks for watching.